Welcome, human people, to another Minecraft video. Today I am going to get done what I said I was going to get done in the last video. I don't know, I have no idea what stuff this is. It must be the mother's. Which, speaking of the mother, I'm willing to bet all of my money that she made these roads for me, which connect over to Sushi's place and back around this way. It does create a good outline for me to work in the future. I might push this road a little to the side that way there so I can have some kind of centerpiece, look, something front and central when you are looking back from here, and it really pulls in the claustrophobic feel. I want, eventually, the skyline. I want buildings to cover the entirety of this island, and I'll get there eventually. The server's got roughly 4 more months, and I feel like I could get that done, especially with the contributions of 3 other people, potentially 4 if Tango starts making an appearance again. But I'm not here to talk about Tango and other people or the skyline. I am here to build this building, and I finally have the design in mind. I'm also guessing the mother is the one who messed with my signs. I just don't think anybody else would. I definitely spelt that correctly when I did it the first time, 'cause I'm not that dumb. I'll probably have to grab some more red sandstone, but this should be enough to get my day started, huh? What I'm actually going to do is, rather than starting with the behind building, or the back building that will be kind of the backdrop of this one, I'm going to start with the front so I can have the basic idea of what this cog and this, I want it to look kind of like a machine, like it's pumping and moving honey from one spot to the next. And I figured a good way to do that is to start with a small 3 tall base, little stone, lighter stone, of course, no deep slate. This is a lighter palette from what I've seen, or what's been displayed so far. I will texture this and add some kind of a small overhang here if I can figure out something that works, but andesite, gravel, just a little bit of texturing, make it look a little scruffy, and then the main portion of the building will be on here. Taking a page out of the mother's book here for her build, and trying to figure out what would look good as gears, because, it's kind of steampunky. Beezlepunk is very steampunk. Steampunk is what it is. So I'm trying to figure out how to make a cog. No. Yes. No. Yes. I've decided, yeah, that kind of looks like a cog sticking out. Yeah, how does that look? I think that looks good. It's kind of supposed to make it look like there's more going on underground, and this building back here is going to connect to this cog and the rest of this building, so hopefully it looks okay. But now I'm going to get started on this portion. It's supposed to give glowing vat of honey, and I think that's what I've achieved. The glowstone looks a little funky back there. I might change which block it is, but for now I think it looks okay. I figured the one gear looked kind of lonely, so I added another one. I added little, I want to say pipes, but not really pipes. Yes, pipes. Pipes of honey. Piping honey from this building into the vat. So this building right here, you can kind of get the idea now, is going to be the manufacturer of the honey, and is going to pump it into this using these gears here. It kind of creates an immersion that, yeah, you need the gears for the pump. I might make some kind of what are they called? I'll make a pump, but it's gonna look like it's powered by the gears. The second building is starting to pop up. You're not gonna be able to tell what it is for now. I'm also gonna make some changes to it. I'm not exactly happy with it. I feel No, it's all right. Yeah, they're similar colors, so it fits okay together. But I unfortunately have to go do something at the moment, so I will return to this return to this build in roughly a couple of hours, and hopefully that'll give me some time to think. So, transition, I guess. Whoa. Transition. Alright, so I built the build. You know, rather than being steampunky, it just kind of seems factory-like. I kind of literally stole the palette that Mogswamp was using, because those were my reference images. I'm not exactly the greatest builder in the world, and I thought, I'd just try it. I told myself I'd try it, and I tried it, and it's not the worst thing in the world. So, basically, this is the honey factory of my island. It's got a pump here, like, one of the ones that, like, compress and decompress. I'm not exactly sure what it's called. Little pipes, like, kind of like veins running through the entire thing, cogs to help churn the machine, and then it all gets pumped into a giant vat of honey, which is slightly aging because of how long it's been there. I got too lazy with aging my copper, so the rest of it is just waxed regular, so, it's just good. But this building wasn't the only thing that was on my mind today. I wanted to make more than one, and as you might see in my hotbar here, my plans for my next building are mangrove related, unfortunately. And if you've played Minecraft and you've attempted to get mass amounts of mangrove, you would know this is one of the worst trees to try to get a mass amount of wood from. But I decided I wanted to go with red. And my inability to build with anything else other than stripped logs everywhere in my builds, I'm gonna need a lot. So I'm just gonna kinda... Oh my god, lag. Just gonna kinda space these out a little bit. Then, get to chopping. One of the good things about mangrove trees is nothing other than the way they look. I seem to remember in the early stages of the mud update or whatever, the mangrove update with mangroves propagules or whatever they're called being in the trees. I seem to remember that originally these trees were actually going to drop the propagules, and the propagules were going to hit the ground, and that's how the trees were going to regrow. So it was going to be like a growing forest, because the tree drops the propagule, and then the tree grows up, drops more propagules, and because of the way the trees are designed, they kind of have a reach. So when they drop, they keep moving forward, like a growing, as I said, a growing forest. And I think the reason they scrapped that idea is because of the lag. I seem to remember this being a thing. If it wasn't, please correct me, because I've been believing this whole time. Another reason mangrove trees are great is because of mangrove roots. What you can do with mangrove roots is a lot. In one of B-Dub's latest videos, he actually used muddy mangrove roots and mud together to create this cool little splash of brown detail in his city. I'm not making a city because he's making a city. I only recently started watching his perspective of Hermitcraft Season 10. In his city, yeah, he uses that. And muddy mangrove roots can be used as a great middle ground inside of farms, so you don't do any jumping if you go into water and stuff. You can use it as texturing, something... You can use it for a lot, is what I'm trying to say. So, altogether, mangrove trees are great. They look great. They're pretty blocks. They provide an awesome game mechanic, or they were going to, if that's real. Oh, I fell. I guess what I'm trying to say is the only bad thing is gathering them in mass quantities. Like, look at this. If I needed mangrove roots, or if I needed mangrove leaves, or even propagules for something, I would have enough. I would know what to do. But if I need specifically the wood like I do, You're going to be gathering for a hot minute. Also, you get moss carpets, which I find weird. I seem to remember you also being able to get moss blocks early on, but that might just be a part of my strange level of crazy. Alright, and after having a lovely little conversation with the mother and how she's going to be building a honeycomb farm over in this area, Cliffside Corner, not Coroner, Coroner is a person. Cliffside Corner will have an area back there over too, and it will get done quicker. Love it, love it, love it. But right here, I'm going to be building studio apartments. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to be building red studio apartments. And the expensive materials for today are mangrove and blackstone. Ooh, blackstone. Down, 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 down. Bad to the bone. Down, 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 down. Something interesting about these studio apartments is that, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of room here. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pushing the... no, I'm not. I'm going to be creating a platform that has stilts going into the water, so it is being held up. So the studio apartments are even more crappy, dirty, gross, and amazing at the same time. All in one go. So, for this build, it's going to be up. It is going to be not the tallest one here. It's going to be shorter than this one and maybe just a little taller than the honey factory. So this is going to be tall. It's going to be tall, and the studio apartments are probably going to be 2 or 3 apartments each floor, or maybe 2 apartments each floor, because I still have to get all of the other floors, stairs, elevator, whatever I want to put in there, that is all going to go in there still too. So it is going to be a very cramped space, and if you've ever lived in a studio apartment, you know that they are cramped to begin with, so this is just going to very much... And hello, ant. Look at that ant. And here is the template for the affordable housing. Here we go. Here we go. Right? I'm thinking it's gonna look great. Great, great, great. Am I going crazy? I don't talk like this normally. It must be all the bees, the constant buzz, the buzz in my ears. Oh, the buzz in my ear. Anyways, I am going to get some windows on this. So, give me uno momento, por favor, and I will show you that. Alright, you ready for the big reveal? Oh. Oh. Look at it. Look at it. It looks terrible. It is not fully detailed. The back and the sides and what I'm going to put down here are not here yet. So, it's not done. Not done at all. Not even close. I'm going to do an actual interior for this one. But, you know, for what it is, it looks okay. I think it looks okay. Some people may think otherwise, but I believe it's just fine. You know? I think it looks great. Come down here. Ooh, you're confronted. You're enclosed. You're enclosed by buildings. You have to keep walking in the set path. You have to walk in the set path. That is what I am going for here, really. The claustrophobic feel, where you have nowhere to go but to follow the path. Now, the top is a little barren. Gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna cover this up real quick. No one's ever gonna notice that. Ignore that I replaced some of the top with bricks rather than regular black stones. Just forget about it. There is more to come for this building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I plan on putting a fire escape down the back, at least into the water. So it looks kind of safe. Not really. And, you know, it's going to have air conditionings with windows on the other side. And it is going to be a complete building. I just, don't feel like it right now, honestly. I don't feel like it. So, I'm not going to. Call it laziness, call it stupidity, call it ignorance. I don't care. I don't really care at all.
I'm just not going to finish it right now. Especially since I don't want to farm more mangrove. Farming mangrove is gross. I hate it. Also, in the entire time that I have put all that detailing on there, we're not going to talk about it. We're just not going to talk about it. I understand the frustration with bee farms. Honeycomb farms especially. I hate them. And, if you know me, which you don't, and I don't think I've ever said it before on the channel, but I also hate working with minecarts and rails. Minecarts just aren't fast enough, and especially on Bedrock Edition where they slow down with lag. The laggier the laggier, the slower the minecarts. The minecarts refuse to move the more anything is on your world. And that's why I also don't do normal super smelters. That is why my super smelter that I have inside my house is like this. I refuse to work with rails. Hopper on a minecart, only good for collecting loot off solid ground. I hate working with minecart builds. Anything to do with redstone and minecarts, I won't do it. So that's why the honeycomb farm has been such an issue over here on Bedrock Edition, because every example that works, that I tested on a survival world or a creative world, uses rails, and I do not work with rails. Originally, I was going to give this building a little bit more depth by putting panes in instead of glass blocks, but you wouldn't notice if I didn't say it or got up close. Honestly, black stained glass is just too dark, so I did not do it. It gives a feeling of depth and that there is rooms back there anyway, especially since there are rooms back there. I put ceilings and floors in there, so eventually, when I get to it and when I feel like it, there will be floors. The affordable housing will go up for rent.